Tuesday morning, time to check in with Nancy Cahalen from the Better Business Bureau and college graduation season in full swing. So as everybody gets ready to start those new lives, Nancy joins us here because, of course, who's waiting? Who's waiting for those college graduates, Nancy? Unfortunately, among those waiting are some of the fraudsters out there.
I think you're right. I think you've known me enough that that's what I'm going to talk about. But, just going back in time a little bit, at the beginning of the year, we got our Scam Tracker Risk Report for last year, and it showed us that this age group is targeted, susceptible, and loses more money for an average scam than any other age group. So this is prime time for the scammers. And it's this big transition includes a lot of important changes. The grads might be moving to a new city they're unfamiliar with. They have to find a new place to live. They're looking for a new job. So they have new financial responsibilities, hopefully, and they're going to be starting to pay off their student loans. So here's a bunch of different topics that the scammers can use in their different scenarios. So first is the graduates, they're probably top of mind now. They're going to have to pay off those loans. And from what I understand, the loan amounts are real chokers. So if somebody says they're going to pay off your loan or consolidate it, don't fall for the scam. So one of the most common ways that they'll target college grads is fake forgiveness opportunities. You might get an unsolicited email, a phone call, or even a text message saying that you qualify for lowered payments through a debt forgiveness program. So this is just what they want to hear, and this falls into the category of too good to be true. So some of these companies are real, but they pitch their services with false claims and incomplete information. And other companies are just downright fake, and they just want to get their hands on your personal information or money. So it's really important that you act cautiously, especially with unsolicited phone calls, text messages, emails, social media messaging. That's another avenue for the scammers to reach us. And they're promising to reduce or wipe out your loans entirely for an upfront fee. Don't fall for it. So it's really a few steps to follow in order to avoid these types of scams. And one is get your facts on the federal student loan repayment programs directly from the U.S. Department of Education. So don't be getting the information from somewhere else. Get it from the source. And don't give out your personal information over the phone or an email or text message unless you initiated the contact. So, if a company does ask you for a fee for any of the federal student loan services, don't give them anything. It's a scam. There are no fees attached there. So you really have to understand your loans, what kind of interest you owe, when you need to start paying it off, and in order to protect yourself from these sorts of scams. So bone up on the kind of loan and when you have to start to pay and how much that is.
Yeah, we just had a news story the other day, Nancy, where they were talking about that, where they were saying, these companies are out there and they're charging you for things that are free services that you can do for yourself, but they contact you and you go, oh, great, somebody's going to help me and take care of that. But I guess it's just pure profit for them because, again, it's something that you could do for free. And as you said, hey, some of these companies aren't even real companies that exist. All right. So what else? We have to understand those ins and outs of the student loan, but what else do we need to be wary of?
Well, before you leave campus, you may hear you have some unpaid tuition. So there are con artists out there that contact graduates and their parents and claim that some of their tuition is unpaid, and if it's not cleared up, they're not going to be able to walk. So the graduate's degree will be revoked if they don't pay off immediately. So this is preying on that fear, intimidation, fear of losing out, those kind of emotional factors that are involved in a lot of scams. So whether you've been contacted on the phone, email, text message, be wary of anyone who just contacts you out of the blue. Um, so most government agencies, as well as most higher education facilities, will contact you by mail, just paper, standard mail initially. And if you're not sure if the message is legitimate, verify it. Ask to contact them later and then investigate it and look up the information on an official website or by calling your school's bursar's office. Don't give in to the pressure they make for you to make a decision right away. So they apply a lot of pressure to act quickly.
Very good. Yeah, I mean you've always said that. That's what they do. That's how they get you. They put the pressure on so that they don't give you time to react and say, wait a minute. So kids are coming out of, and we're talking about some of the scams that can affect you. You're graduating. You're heading out into the real world, and to kind of go along with what we were talking about in our last hour, that means that you're going to have to find a place to live. It means that you're going to have to go out there and get those job interviews, all the things that people do when they head out into the quote unquote real world.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and you really can't have one without the other, So, do your research before you accept any job offers or job interviews. The scammers may often they may offer recent grads high-paying, easy entry-level jobs. What's that? Too good to be true. All right. So, why would they offer that? It just doesn't make a lot of sense. And they're skilled at drawing new grads in by promoting unrealistic wages for generally labeled job descriptions such as virtual assistant or customer service rep. So those are kind of general terms, and they may ask for personal information, including your bank account and social security number. So that makes sense if you're being hired because they need to know where to deposit the pay, and they need your social in order for your tax withholding. So that's what the scammers are hoping, that you'll fall for it. Give them that personal information. They'll have access to your bank account and all your personal information, like your social, in order to do identity theft. So it's really something you need to watch out for. If you're considering a job with a company you're not familiar with, do your research. Do your research. And if you can't find anything on them, call us here. We'll be happy to help you investigate that and find out if this is a legitimate job offer or if it's a scam. Oftentimes these scammers will borrow the name of a well thought of company in their fake ads for positions. So you can't just go by the name. You have to really go to the website, see if the company actually has this job posted there. Do your research.
Yeah, absolutely. And I was just going to say, and then the fact that that you're heading out into the real world to find maybe the first place that you've lived that wasn't a dorm.
Yes. And there are a lot of rental scams out there, unfortunately. It's so easy with technology. The scammers just copy a photo from somebody else's ad and of a real property, and then they post it online with their contact information. And so what they're trying to do is just get a deposit or the first month's rent from their victims. And if you want to rent a home or apartment, find out how much they go for in that area, because this will give you a clue whether this is another one of the too good to be true kind of scenarios, that this rent is really way underpriced for what's happening in the market. So you just don't want to act too fast. Again, they want you to act fast. They don't want you to think. They don't want you to do your research and check with other people, talk it over. So don't be embarrassed to consult with friends or family members because they've gone through this. They've rented places before. This might be the first time for you. So here's a couple of tips. Big red flags. It's likely a scam if the owner is out of town and you can't see the unit in person before sending the money. It's likely a scam if there's a for sale sign in the front yard. It's likely a scam if the alleged owner or property manager wants you to wire them money. No legitimate business gets paid this way. And it's likely a scam if the rent is well below the market rates in that area.
Yeah, those seem like some pretty big red flags for sure. All right, students, you have been forewarned, and good luck and congratulations on graduating. And here you go. Now you've got to head out into the real world. Nancy Cahalen, President, CEO, Better Business Bureau, serving Central and Western Massachusetts and Northeastern Connecticut. Thank you for joining us today.
Oh, my pleasure. Thanks so much for having me on.